Love isn't always simple, and passion often comes at a price. Welcome to Intrigue Romance, where secrets, betrayal, and forbidden desires collide. Tonight, we take you into a story you won't forget, where love is never what it seems. My name is Samantha, and I'm 22 years old. I've always believed I knew everything about my father, David. To me, he's always been a quiet, hardworking man who puts his family first. But a single afternoon changed that perception forever, revealing a side of him I never could have imagined. It all started on a lazy Saturday when my mom insisted my dad clean out the basement. She had been nagging him for months to sort through old boxes that had been gathering dust for years. Knowing he couldn't procrastinate any longer, Dad reluctantly agreed, and I offered to help. I thought it would be a mundane task, but little did I know that this day would turn into a journey of discovery. As we began pulling out boxes, we found old photo albums, childhood toys, and random trinkets from years gone by. Then, tucked away in the farthest corner of the basement, I spotted a large, locked trunk. It looked old and important, unlike anything else in the room. "What's in there?" I asked, pointing at the trunk. Dad glanced at it and sighed, almost as if he had been hoping I wouldn't notice it. "Oh, that's just some stuff from my younger days," he said, trying to sound nonchalant. "Can I open it?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. For a moment, he hesitated. Then, with a small nod, he handed me the key. "Go ahead." I opened the trunk and found myself staring at an assortment of items that didn't match the dad I knew. There were shiny trophies, gold medals, certificates, and stacks of old photographs. I picked up one of the photos and froze. It was a picture of my dad, but not the dad I knew. He looked massive, his muscles bulging, his pose confident, and his smile radiating pride. He was holding a giant trophy and standing on a stage. "Is this you?" I asked, my voice filled with disbelief. Dad chuckled softly, rubbing the back of his neck. "Yeah, that's me. A long time ago, I used to be a bodybuilder." I couldn't believe it. The man in the photo looked nothing like the dad I knew today. In the picture, he was ripped, towering, and larger than life. I looked back at him, standing there in his worn flannel shirt and jeans, and I struggled to connect the two images. "You were this big? And you never told me?" He laughed again, though this time his expression was tinged with nostalgia. "It's not something I talk about much. It feels like a different life now." As I dug through the trunk, I found more pictures and articles. One of the newspaper clippings had a headline that read, "David Carter, the Muscle King." I looked up at him in awe. "You were famous?" "For a little while," he admitted. "I competed in shows, won a few championships, even got a bit of recognition. But it wasn't something I wanted to do forever." "Why not?" I asked, still trying to process this side of him. He smiled, his face softening. "Because life had other plans. When I met your mom, everything changed. I realized I wanted a family, not a spotlight. Bodybuilding was great, but it required all my time and energy. I didn't want to miss out on life's bigger moments, like raising you and your brother." Hearing him say that, I felt a mix of emotions, pride, admiration, and a deep sense of gratitude. My dad had given up so much to build the life we had. He chose love, family, and stability over personal fame and glory. As the afternoon went on, we talked more about his bodybuilding days. He shared stories of grueling workouts, strict diets, and the thrill of competition. He also spoke about the challenges, the pressure to win, the constant travel, and the loneliness that came with it. "That life taught me discipline and hard work," he said. "But it also taught me what truly matters. And that's you, your brother, and your mom. You're my greatest trophies." That day, I saw my dad in a completely new light. He wasn't just the quiet, dependable man I had always known. He was someone who had lived an extraordinary life, made incredible sacrifices, and chosen his family above everything else. As we packed up the trunk and carried it back to its corner, I felt an overwhelming sense of pride. My dad was a hero, not because of his muscles or trophies, but because of the choices he made. The choice to be there for us, to prioritize us, and to build a life filled with love and care. Sometimes, We forget that our parents had entire lives before we came along. They were people with dreams, passions, and stories we might never know unless we take the time to ask. That day, I learned that my dad's greatest strength wasn't in his physical size or his titles. It was in his heart and the sacrifices he made for the people he loved. And for that, I'll always look up to him.